The sidelines of Culture Kumbh in Prayagraj, right on the banks of the river Ganga, or Ma Ganga, if I may say, I've had the opportunity to sit down and have a quick chat with someone whose life changed and that clarity of purpose, that moment of clarity came on the banks of Ma Ganga. Sadhvi Bhagawati ji, namaste. And I'm going to request you to just share a small portion of what you shared with me just before we started rolling. That what brought you to Bharat and how? A Stanford educated, you doing a PhD, you told me. How did you come to Bharat?
This is grace. It is really grace. I would love to claim credit for it. I would love to say that I recognized the superficiality of the material world, or maine Bhagwan se aise pratana ki ki please give me a guru, please mere ko gyan do. I wish that were the story. But it's not the story. The story is, I was 25, I was a scientist. I came from a very well-to-do family in Los Angeles, quite literally in Hollywood, hence the Hollywood to Himalayas name of my memoir. Literally, I grew up in Hollywood. And agar aapne mere ko bahar se dekhe hote, you would have said, uske paas sab kuch hai. She has everything. The prosperity, the education, the privilege, all of that. But at the end of the day, those are not actually the things that make us happy. My friends and I were what I now call happy by default. Meaning we were given this happiness equation: get a good degree, make a lot of money, wear the right clothes, go to the right parties, vacation in the right resorts, and then you'll be happy. We had those things. And so we thought, we must be happy. But on that deep level, that sukh, that shanti, that anand, maza to aata tha. But maza se jeevan nahi banti hai.
No.
Jeevan is made from anand, not maza. So there I was, 25, with a degree from Stanford in the midst of a PhD in pediatric neuropsychology. And I was an avid traveler. I loved to travel, but I had traveled mostly across Europe, across the US and England. And when India was suggested, I didn't actually know anything about India at that time. Other than I was a very strict vegetarian, and I knew that wherever I was in the world, an Indian restaurant was the one place where pure shakahari khana mil sakte. Do baar puchna nahi padta. Nahi to bhagwan jaane kya kya dalte hain. Har cheez mein eggs, har cheez mein machli, har cheez mein. So when India was suggested, I knew ki kam se kam छोटी सी गांव में हूँ, बड़े शहर में, भाषा आते हैं नहीं आते, कम से कम I can eat really happily as a pure vegetarian. So as embarrassing as it is to say this almost 30 years later, I came because I loved the food. But this is why I say grace and destiny. Because I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area. There's an Indian restaurant on every corner. I didn't have to come all the way to Bharat to get good food. But this is the power of grace. It was 1996. There was no Google. We had a Lonely Planet guidebook. Delhi May opened the Lonely Planet. Where to? Rishikesh. Literally just like that. Opened it, Rishikesh. Rishikesh mein pahunche. I go to stand on the banks of Ganga. I was hot, I was tired. Hotel mein saman chhod diya. Maine kaha ki I'm just going to the banks of the river to freshen up. I get to the banks of Ganga. Ganga ka darshan kiya. और जो भीतर से अनुभव आए, जो दिव्य अनुभव, I had this incredible experience. This experience of being in the presence of the divine. And it began as I looked out over Ganga. But then it didn't matter. As I moved my head, everything was divine. And as I looked at myself, I was also divine. And having grown up in a Western culture around achievement, around your looks, around your talent, myself and everyone I knew, we all had these kind of inferiority complexes around you're never pretty enough, you're never smart enough, you're never popular enough. Doesn't matter, you get A+ in school, there's always something
which makes you feel inferior.
Makes you feel inferior. And I was no exception to that. And suddenly here I was, standing on the banks of a river I didn't even know was sacred. In the lap of mountains I didn't even know were sacred. And I was given this experience of realizing, oh my God, you're not lacking. You are divine. That was my first, you could say, dupki in Sanatan Dharma, in Sanatan Sanskriti. You know, you speak to Indians about this and they say, yeah, of course. So, aham brahmasmi. But this was not something that a 25-year-old American scientist knew. And it was such a powerful experience. I knew this is my home. This is where I'm meant to be.
So let me ask you, if it all happened on the banks of Ma Ganga, we are now on the banks of three really, really holy rivers who find mention from times immemorial. Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. What makes the Kumbh so special? And I know the Paramarth Ashram has done a lot of work here and you've been here every year. This is MahaKumbh happening once in 144 years. What makes it so special? Why is it that I feel this burst of energy in me? I could feel there is something different.
Of course. Number one, it's the actual cosmic energies. Number two, it's the energy of the people. The bhav, that Bhakti ki Shakti of the people of Bharat is amazing. मैं आई थी 13 तारीख को मकर संक्रांति के एक दिन पहले मैं एयरपोर्ट से आ रही थी. Mostly the roads had started to be closed क्योंकि अगले दिन स्नान. सभी लोग पैदल से आ रहे, सारे सामान सिर के ऊपर रखा. No complaints, no grumbling, no frustration, no get out of my way. Just सब भगवान का नाम लेकर जप करते 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 कीर्तन गाते 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 जा रहे हैं. And I think about the land I come from, in LA, where everyone has everything. And all we do is complain, all we do is grumble, ye theek nahi hai, wo theek nahi hai. And here, they don't know where they're going to sleep tonight. They don't know where they're going to get food. They're walking kilometers in little thin sandals or barefoot. And everything is beautiful. So the energy here, it's the energy of the cosmos. It's the energy of the planets, the moon, the sun. But it's also the energy of Bhakti. And you get to take that dip in the Bhakti of the people, that bhav. You know, these days we have social media, so everybody sees, oh, this, you know, fear of missing out is so much FOMO. वो तो सब जो शायद आने वाले नहीं थे वो भी आ रहे हैं, ऐसे ना हो कि I miss out. But go back hundreds of years, thousands of years. There was no social media. There was no TV. There were no hoardings or banners that said MahaKumbh. Feared me. Everybody came.
Okay.
People come because the energy is a magnet. And when they come, they augment that energy. Their bhakti, their bhav. This entire pandal was chakra block full of people sleeping.
Yeah.
10,000 people, head to toe, head to toe, head to toe. Our entire entranceway. You couldn't enter the ashram from the gate. Full of people sleeping. We all had to go piche ke rasta se. That bhav, and they're sleeping with people who are strangers. We're bathing with strangers. That bhakti, that is an energy. That bhakti ki Shakti. And so that also makes it so powerful. It's like chanting kirtan in your home is beautiful. Chanting kirtan with hundreds or thousands of people on the banks of Ganga, wo to adbhut hai, alag cheez hai.
ये अलग चीज है.
Having this sacred dupki surrounded by your global family. Every race, every religion, every rang, every color, from every city, every country, every culture. That experience of Vasudev Kutumbakam. We chant it, we say it. Our Honorable Sri Modi ji gave it as the theme of the G20. But to actually have that darshan, to have that experience of, oh my God, this is my family. Neto, tell me, bajpan se, who have you had a bath or a shower with? Only your best friends or your family members?
Family.
Some stranger says to you, ki, acha, let's have a shower together. You would run as fast as you could in the other direction.
Are you alright?
Right?
I'm out of here. Yeah, great.
And here we are,
Everybody's together.
bathing together. It means this is our family.
So let me ask you, since this is perhaps the biggest confluence of humanity and also for spirituality, and it's happening in Bharat, it's happening after 144 years, how is this Chetana or this rise in consciousness, how can Bharat use it to perhaps, do its own manthan? This bhakti, how can it help Bharat? That's my final question, please.
Beautiful, beautiful question. So first of all, realize that the truth does not have to advertise itself. The truth is a magnet. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा पूरी विश्व के लोग आ रहे हैं, भारत में आ रहे हैं, रोज ऋषिकेश में, परमार्थ निकेतन में हम रोज देखते हैं पूरी विश्व के लोग आ रहे हैं. जहां आप अपने गार्ड में बैठे बैठे यूट्यूब पे सब कुछ सीख सकते हैं. योग सीखना है यूट्यूब पे सीख सकते हैं. जो भी सीखना चाहते हैं गार्ड में बैठे बैठे सीख सकते हैं. लेकिन फिर भी हर साल ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग आ रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि केवल टीचिंग नहीं चाहिए, टच और ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन चाहिए.
Experience.
और वो एक्सपीरियंस के लिए भारत में आना है. और इसलिए पूरा विश्व भारत की ओर मुड़ रहा है. महाकुंभ में पूरा विश्व के लोग आ रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि पीपल आर सफरिंग. सब कुछ प्राप्त करने के बाद, सब कुछ अचीव करने के बाद, acquire करने के बाद, depression rates are skyrocketing, anxiety rates are skyrocketing. We have a loneliness epidemic. आप सोचो, विदेश में loneliness epidemic, और यहाँ 40 करोड़ लोगों के साथ हम स्नान कर रहे हैं, सो रहे हैं, खाना खा रहे हैं. कहाँ loneliness? So people are coming. क्योंकि इसी संस्कृति में हर समस्या का समाधान है. चाहे आप इंडिविजुअल बेसिस पे देखो, डिप्रेशन हो, एंजाइटी हो, एडिक्शन हो, लोनलीनेस हो, चाहे अपने समाज में जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट on the basis of race, of religion, of color, of political party, of sexual orientation, whatever it is, we're fighting. Us and them. You look at what's happening in the world with war.
Yeah.
You look at what's happening with climate change and environmental destruction. Every single one of those problems, हमारी संस्कृति में उसकी answer.
True.
The teachings of चाहे योग के माध्यम से, चाहे अपने शास्त्र की philosophy, सनातन संस्कृति के माध्यम से, the answers are there. So people are fed up. They know we've acquired everything, we've achieved everything, and we're still not happy. नींद लाने के लिए गोली खाने पड़ते,
Correct.
डिप्रेशन को दूर करने के लिए गोली खाने पड़ते, टॉयलेट जाने के लिए गोली खाने पड़ते. What's the point of it all? The top medicines being prescribed in America are antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicine, sleeping pills, and Viagra.
Viagra.
So you think literally we've acquired it all, and now we have to take pills to do what animals can do. A pill to sleep, a pill to drag ourselves out of bed in the morning, a pill to procreate. Gandhi ji said so beautifully, what is the point of that fast speed that has no direction? So all of these science and technology give us the speed, but our spirituality gives us the direction. और इसलिए Bharat, Bharatiya Sanskriti, that truth, it is a magnet. लोग आ रहे हैं, लोग मुड़ रहे हैं, लोग जोड़ रहे हैं, लोगों को खींच रहे हैं. भारत को केवल यही करना है कि अपनी ही संस्कृति से जोड़ो. Be proud of it, live it. I cannot tell you the number of people, गंगा किनारे रहने वाले लोग, who have said to me कि अच्छा आप किसी तरह से मेरे लिए अमेरिका में कुछ करा दीजिएगा, किसी तरह से नौकरी लगवाओ, किसी तरह से वीजा लगवाओ, मैं बर्तन मांजने के लिए तैयार हूँ.
मैं स्टैनफोर्ड छोड़ के यहाँ आई हूँ, तुमको यहाँ से वहाँ बर्तन मांजने के लिए जाना क्या?
केवल मैंने कितने
लोग, so many people have come here, true.
तो मैं सबसे बस यही प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि जो अपनी wealth,
Right.
इसको पहचानो wealth. There was a beggar who lived under a tree for his entire life, begging for breadcrumbs. जब शरीर शांत हो गया, तो villagers को लगा कि उनको इसी tree के नीचे, let's bury him, he lived here. As they start to dig under the tree, they find a treasure chest filled with gold and diamonds and jewels. This man lived his entire life 6 inches above a treasure chest.
Yes.
He lived as a beggar. If he had literally gone 6 inches deep,